Welcome to my channel. The sky tore itself apart. The passenger jet lurched like a ship in a storm, trays rattling, oxygen masks dangling like pale faces in the dim cabin light. Screams cut through the roar of engines, 1,000 voices swallowed by the turbulence. Phones slipped from hands, coffee splashed into the aisle. Out the oval windows, the clouds split, and out of the mist came steel F-16s, sleek predators of the sky, their afterburners glowing like fire in the storm. 2, 4, 6 of them, streaking alongside the helpless jet. Gasps rippled through the cabin. Some pressed against the glass, some prayed, some froze in terror. But then, something unthinkable. The fighters broke formation, one by one, wings banking outward, not to attack, not to threaten, but to turn their steel gaze toward one seat. Row 22. And there she was, a young woman, no different than anyone else. Headphones still in, calm, almost waiting. No one on that flight knew her name. No one imagined history bent its spine toward her. And yet, in that instant, every scream, every prayer, every terrified heartbeat inside that cabin was orbiting her silence. Hours earlier, it was just another flight nobody cared about. Gate agents scanning tickets, people dragging carry-ons too heavy for the bins, a toddler kicking the seat in front of him before takeoff. Businessmen muttered into phones. Families argued over snacks. Someone was already asleep before the wheels left the ground. And there she was, row 22, window seat, quiet, a face among faces, no jewelry, no makeup, just a girl with dark hair pulled back, eyes lowered, and noise-canceling headphones that made her as invisible as background static. She didn't look special. She didn't want to. And that was the trick. The most dangerous legends never do. Midway through the flight, the storm found them. It came without warning, clouds stacking like mountains of ash, lightning flashing jagged scars across the horizon. The plane shuddered, metal creaking as the captain's voice cracked over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated." His words drowned under thunder. Then, silence. Not peace, silence. The radios had gone dark. The co-pilot's voice was tight. "We lost comms." The captain's reply even tighter. "We're not alone." On military radar, blips appeared, too fast to be weather, too deliberate to be chance. Seconds later, the cabin windows confirmed it. 2 F-16s materialized out of the storm, slicing through rain like blades. Passengers screamed. Someone shouted, "Why are they here?" Another fumbled for a phone, but there was no signal. The jet wasn't being warned away. It was being escorted, guarded, watched. But why? In row 22, the girl finally moved. Slowly, deliberately, she slipped her headphones down around her neck. The storm raged. Babies cried. Grown men trembled. She did none of it. She looked up, eyes steady, breath calm. Out the glass, an F-16 tilted its wings, not at the plane, not at the captain, but at her, directly, unmistakably at her row. The whisper started. "Who is she? What's happening? Why are they looking at her?" She didn't flinch, didn't speak, didn't try to explain, because explanations were useless in a moment like this. For the first time, passengers realized this wasn't about them. It never was. Then, the impossible. The F-16s peeled wide, one by one, banking out of formation like knights lowering their swords, not to attack, not to intimidate, but to turn their steel gaze toward one seat. Row 22. And the captain's headset crackled to life, scrambled military code breaking through the static. He froze, stared at the message, then his eyes flicked back toward row 22. The words on his screen weren't a warning. They weren't an order. They were a name, a call sign. The F-16s weren't here for the plane. They were here for her. The intercom hissed. Every passenger leaned forward as the captain's trembling voice filled the cabin. Row 22. Passenger Raven. A ripple of shock tore through the jet. A name, a legend. The young woman closed her eyes. Her first words since boarding cut colder than the storm itself. "I didn't want this day to come." Memories don't fade when the sky remembers. Dogfights burned into history. Cockpits lit with fire and tracer rounds. The shadow of a woman in a helmet with a black raven painted on the side. She flew higher, faster, sharper than anyone else. A pilot who never missed. A phantom who turned hopeless countless battles into victories, who pulled squadrons out of certain death and sent them home. And then she vanished. No one knew why. Some said she was killed. Others whispered she walked away, refusing medals and politics. The most dangerous rumor of all claimed she became something else entirely. A ghost in the system, untraceable, untouchable. They called her Raven. And tonight, at 30,000 feet, the ghost had a seat number. The storm broke, clouds tore apart into clean skies, light spilling through like revelation. The F-16s, their duty done, pulled away. One dipped its wings in salute, another rolled inverted in a graceful bow before vanishing into the blue. Inside the cabin, silence held. Some passengers whispered prayers, others just stared, too afraid to blink. The girl in row 22, Raven, slipped her headphones back on, leaning against the window like nothing had happened. But everything had, because sometimes legends don't stay in books or in secret files. Sometimes they sit in coach, unnoticed, until the sky itself bends to greet them. Heroes don't always wear uniforms. They don't always carry medals. Sometimes they carry nothing more than silence, waiting for the world to remember. That day, the passengers of Flight 227 learned something they'd never forget. The quietest person on the plane was the loudest name in the sky. Nobody knew the girl in row 22 until F-16s outside the window broke formation for her. And if stories like this move you, subscribe, because this isn't the last mission.